We are back at it with our F1 podcast, and we have officially came up with a brand new title for it. It is going to be called X1 Podcast. It's a little play on the F1, and since we are part of like X Crew, it's called X1. It makes sense to us. I hope you guys like it. The logo is absolutely so sick. Shout out to the boy Jake for creating that. But not you, Jake. But as you guys know, it's the three of us. We got myself, aka Josh. We have the boy Jake, aka Zug, and then we have the boy Dylan, aka Mix. And yeah, so it's a podcast, and we're gonna have this on a weekly basis. Hopefully a weekly basis, because there's gonna be a lot to talk about this year. The season is almost beginning. The testing race or testing, I guess, phase is about to be coming up in like a few days, almost less than a week or something like that. So we figured, let's get our podcast out. Let's start this thing. We have a bunch of different topics from this off season that we got to touch on, and some topics that I would say we should touch on, but we don't have enough information as a trio to really discuss it. So we're gonna put those on the back burner and potentially use that for like later on. However, let's start it off with the cars liveries. We created a livery tier list. And yeah, Mix is going to have that pop up on the screen for each one of us. We'll show mine first. And honestly, if you don't have Ferrari as like the best, I don't know what you guys are doing. Like Ferrari looks insane. It looks amazing. And I'm going to also put McLaren in there as well. I think both of those cars look the best this year. I think like Mercedes, it looks the same. It just looks good. You know, pretty good. I would say it looks pretty good. I also like the Red Bull car with like the black, like instead of the blue on it. I think it looks a little bit cleaner in my opinion.
Isn't it blue?
Mix told me it was black.
It's gonna be carbon fiber, okay?
The Red Bull is blue.
It's gonna be carbon fiber, 100%.
It looks black from my eyes. I got
blue.
color problem. Okay, well, blue, black. I don't know, but it's the best. It's the fourth best one in my opinion, behind Mercedes, McLaren, and Ferrari. And then you also have for my mid, you have Aston Martin, and then you got that's Alpine, correct?
Yep.
Yep, I got Alpine. I'm trying to look at my monitor over here, but I got Alpine for mid, and then I have Williams, Haas, and then Cash. What is this? Cash App Red Bull. Dude, it's such a long name. Red Bull, Cash App, Visa. We got the livery in the bad. And then I think everybody can agree the kick one shouldn't be allowed to race. I don't know, it just looks bad. It just looks horrible.
Why don't you like the Visa Red Bull?
I just don't like it. I don't know. It doesn't like stick out to me, in my opinion. It just like blah. You know? That's why.
To be honest, for me, the Ferrari and the Visa Red Bull are the only ones that actually kind of put design in this year.
You like the Visa Red Bull?
It's the only car that doesn't have carbon fiber.
So tell us your tier list. Give us your rundown.
Give us your rundown. It's going to be up on the screen for everybody to look at, but.
Well, Ferrari, it's clean, it's simple. I like the lines. There's not 80% of it's not black carbon fiber. There's actually a livery there.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
McLaren, it's clean, simple. I got it pretty good. I was gonna put it mid because of the amount of carbon fiber on it, but it is clean. Red Bull, it's just Red Bull because, it's Red Bull.
Yep,
No
basic.
Mercedes,
Mercedes always has the best liveries.
That's
every
cap.
year.
You didn't even put it as the best livery, Josh.
I liked
it's
last
pretty good.
year's just the black. I kind of like, I guess, somewhat how they did the black and the gray, but I like the black better.
Do we think that the gray Mercedes looks better than the black Mercedes?
Not even a little bit.
No.
Okay, I take it back. I'm not even going to say what I was going to say.
You like it, I guess, it sounds like.
I'm only going to like it for this year, and then I'm a Ferrari fan, so.
Whoa, that's a little far in the schedule. We got to talk about it.
Keep going, Mix, or keep going, Zoe, sorry.
Yeah, and then we got the Red Bull because clean. It's actually got colors and design on it.
Yeah.
Then what is this guy? Williams. I don't know. Feel like I should have put that one in mid. There's nothing. I did like the Duracell battery thing, to be honest.
I can't believe you put Williams in
Dang.
pretty good.
It's clean. It's clean.
It's clean.
But like pretty good?
You put the Red Bull one in bad, dude.
Good. Yeah, the Cash App Red Bull, bro. What?
Yeah, it's the only car out here that has color.
I don't know, I'm just not vibing with it. At least from this, like the images, I'm not vibing with it. Maybe I like it when it hits the track.
Okay, then down in the mid tier, I feel like the other two are just carbon fiber with some color, and then Aston Martin. I don't like green, so it's just and it literally didn't change, so put that mid. And then steak. I feel the only good thing about this, I like the poker chip as like the wheel, like the rim color or whatever.
I didn't even
Whatever.
notice that.
Yeah, it's a poker chip. So
That's
kinda
pretty cool. Yeah, that's
But other
actually
than
pretty
that,
cool.
it's again don't like green. So
Wow. Okay, I'll do
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah, you're pretty good list.
you
is
gotta show us yours. You haven't.
garbage.
Well, okay, mine is way different from your guys's. I
Put
have
it in the chat.
I
Send
have
it in so we can see it.
I have well, no, because I'm gonna switch it.
You can't switch it. It's fine.
No, I'm just like move some stuff to the left. Okay, anyways, I have McLaren as the best one because I like it a lot, and that's my team, so I'm gonna
Fanboy.
be biased. And then second in best, I have the Visa Cash App Red Bull one. I don't know why you
What?
guys don't like that much, but I think it's really sick. I don't know why. I think the
I
colors
have
look good
that-
together. Okay, mostly
I have that
Josh.
pretty good.
Calling Josh out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how you have that so low. But on to
Sometimes
pretty
you just
good.
gotta have hot takes, man.
On to pretty good. I have the Ferrari. It's clean. It's still very red. And a lot of that red's probably going to leave when they realize they're slow. So I'm just going to
Be
put
true.
it there. And then next I had Mercedes. I like the black and like not all silver, but like a hint of silver. I think that looks cool. And then I have the Williams. That might change later because they have like the light blue and dark blue going on, and the dark blue is going to turn to carbon fiber. So that'll make it like a little more.
Where are you getting all this information? Every car is just carbon fiber.
Matt,
He has sources,
Matt and
man.
Tommy P1. P1 Matt and Tommy.
He has the sources. We don't have the sources.
But I don't think they've ever gone back when they dropped their livery.
I know
changed
that
the livery. Nobody's ever done that.
they said that Red Bull, they always make their car dark blue because they just turn it to carbon fiber and then you can't really notice it. But anyway,
That's why I thought it was black.
then I have the state car.
And
It's
pretty good.
yeah, just because it's colorful. I like the green.
Different.
You
I wanna
guys don't
see
like
it
the green.
on the actual circuit.
Yeah, I gotta see it like
Honestly,
actually like in person.
Daylight.
Honestly, it's probably gonna be worse in person than the render, but on the render, it looks pretty cool. I like the light green. And then mid,
Light green? That's like a lime.
okay,
green.
lime green. My bad. Then the mid, we have Haas.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring.
Isn't it
It's
basically
clean.
the
it's
same?
clean,
It's-
but it's
yeah,
boring. Yeah, that's all I have to say about Haas. Then we have the Red Bull and Aston Martin. I don't think they really changed anything.
They really didn't.
I am sick of the Red Bull livery because it's going to be in front anyway. So they like might as well make it look cool. Like they could make their car all chrome and it would still be winning. So they should just do that. And then Aston Martin, it's just green. Like it's boring.
It's the same. It looks
There's like I don't even think there's
literally the
really
same.
any design or anything. Like it's just green.
Just one tiny yellow line going through it.
Yeah. And then in bad, I have Alpine.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't blame you on that one.
yeah. And then
Even though I put that at mid.
That's mid for me. I like the design they did with it.
and that's it.
You don't have anything and shouldn't be allowed to race?
I don't
No.
either.
Wow. No hot takes from you guys? Come on,
Oh,
man.
I have hot takes for predictions, okay?
Oh, okay.
I'm saving it for that. But
Okay.
anyway, we'll go to silly season next.
If you think about it like this year, silly season, nothing's really happened. It's the same teams from last year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's literally, I don't think anybody moved. Nobody moved, actually. And nobody came in or out as well. So it's the same exact teams from last year. Which, honestly, I don't mind. I don't know about you guys. I don't really mind that because it gives the whole everybody like a crew another year to see what they can do. Whether their car's going to be good or bad, that's up in the air, right? But I think it's pretty interesting to see that there was no moves per se. Maybe there could have been a couple here and there, but I mean, what do you guys think?
I mean, I think everybody's contract expires at the end of this year, so like I think it was like basically like only a few drivers that were going to have their contracts run out at the end of the year, and they all re-signed. And I think Logan Sargent was like really the only person that was in jeopardy of losing his seat. And I didn't think he was going to lose the seat. I was pretty confident that they would bring him back. So yeah,
Worst mistake.
nah, he's gonna go off this year.
I mean, personally speaking, it should be interesting to see how these guys do. Because next year, I was watching Matt and Tommy, and they said basically 12 drivers contract end. 12 or more contracts are ending at the end of this coming season. And we already know of one already happening,
Yep. Which is who?
which is the boy
Who is it?
Lewis. Lewis is going to Ferrari.
Yep.
I'm
thought he
a
was
I'm a
retiring.
Mercedes fan.
Until next
Until
year.
next year, I'll be a Ferrari fan. I'm rocking the silver and black this year. I'll be red and black next year. But I mean, that's really the only guys that we kind of know that are switching teams because I believe Charles has a contract extension through for many years. He signed that this year.
Poor guy.
Max isn't going anywhere. You know what I mean? He's staying put. There's rumors. There are rumors that Albon is getting offered from Red Bull to take Perez's seat. If I'm not mistaken, I heard, or I should say, I read that it was multi-year as well.
Yeah.
I think I read that. That's kind of interesting because, I mean, I know he was on Red Bull before, but like, do you guys think he's better than Perez?
Yes.
Yes.
I
You think
don't
Albon is
think-
better than Perez?
I'll just say I don't think he's gonna go to Red Bull. I think he would go and fill Lewis's seat if he leaves.
At Mercedes?
Yep.
I mean,
But even if he wants to leave Williams, though, I think he's pretty happy at Williams.
he's basically a number one driver at Williams, no?
Yep. I mean, he's definitely the number one driver, Josh.
Oh, yeah, with Logan Sargent. My bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think later on when we get a firm like confirmation of rumors of where people are going to go later this year, it should be interesting when we're doing this podcast later on, be like, okay, we think they're going to go here, they're going to go here. It's going to be interesting to see Daniel Ricciardo back in Red Bull. Not saying he is or anything like that, or Pierre Gasly going to Mercedes, or Oscar Piastri moving on to Mercedes, or something like that. You know, I think it would be pretty interesting because, I mean, I think the major one that we're gonna have for next year is Carlos Sainz. I mean, he's definitely gone, right, from Ferrari. So where is he gonna go? Is he gonna go to Mercedes? Is he gonna go to Red Bull? Is he gonna
Kick.
go to Aston Martin or Kick? I mean, there's so much that can happen later this year. It's going to be super, super exciting to see, super interesting to see. Do you guys have any predictions of where Sainz is going to go?
I think he's gonna go to Kick. I think he'll go there and either Zhou or Valtteri, maybe Valtteri retires, and then it's gonna turn into Audi in 2026, and he'll already be on that team. So
That makes sense. That makes sense.
There's too many moving pieces for me. I can't even think.
Yeah, there's so many moving pieces later this year. It's gonna be so crazy to see. Because I feel like since I've been watching the past like few years, like I know the drivers and where they are. You know what I mean? And seeing them in new cars is going to be different at first. It's kind of like when we like watch Supercross and everybody's like switching teams and stuff like that.
like when
Um,
Joe's on a Honda.
yeah, like it's just super weird to see someone else. Like it's gonna be super, super weird to see Carlos Sainz in a different vehicle than Ferrari, even though like I watched highlights of him in another vehicle too. So, but it's just gonna be weird. Definitely gonna be weird seeing Lewis in a Ferrari. That's
That's gonna
mind
be
boggling
weird.
right now.
And
Like, do you think?
another thing I saw was Kimi Antonelli. He's being compared to Max Verstappen,
Yeah,
and
I
he's
saw
in
that too.
the Mercedes train, so he could get the spot too. But I think they'll sign somebody for like 1 to 2 years and then have him. I think he'll be like. I don't think he'll be ready. He hasn't even done an F3 season yet, so
I did see that on Twitter as well. Do you think?
Wait, so we're talking about a prospect who hasn't even stepped foot in an F3 car?
correct.
Yep.
They were comparing
What are
him to
we
Max
doing?
Verstappen though.
So they're comparing, I'm guessing, an F4.
He did a F4 and he did a test in an F3 car and was like seconds faster than everybody else.
That's pretty crazy. Do we think Lewis is winning a championship in Ferrari?
No.
I don't know.
Come on, haters.
I
Not
don't
a
think you can
hater,
really
is it?
say anything because of the regulation changes. Will probably mix it up a little bit.
True, true. I do think though that like he has an opportunity there for sure.
I think he has a better opportunity than with Mercedes. I don't know because that's
What if-
kind of crazy. Like he's going against Charles Leclerc
Well, like,
in the
but what
same
if like
car.
Lewis just goes off into the sunset this year, wins the championship, and then goes Ferrari and just has fun,
I
wins a
think
couple of races, call it good.
I think George will have something to say about that because I think George would take him out or
For the
like
champion,
hassle
George is
him.
gonna be like 10th.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? If they're battling like maybe like Singapore and George is just holding him up and he's like, well, he's going to Ferrari next year. I'm not going to let him by. You know?
I mean, that is very true. So true. I feel
And
like,
George would do that.
and I feel like knowing that Lewis is switching teams already this early, there's gonna be some favoritism towards George this year, like 100,000%. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like Lewis is going to get the short end of the stick on most situations because of his announcement already. Like, if he didn't announce it until later next year, or I guess later this year, I
I
guess.
wonder why they announced it now.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think it got
It
leaked. And then
maybe
they were
got
just kind of
leaked, but
forced to do it.
it's kind of weird that it did get leaked that early, though. Like,
I don't know.
a
It's just
whole
like
year.
people speculate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
imagine
so it's
a
good.
random person just randomly like, yep, Lewis is going to Ferrari, then it caught traction and it was actually true.
That's crazy.
Well,
That'd
yeah,
be
it's-
funny.
But I mean, there was like, I've seen so many different clips, whether it was on TikTok, whether it was on Twitter, of like hints that it was happening. Like, oh, Charles, like, what do you think about your next teammate? And then you would be like, hey, Lewis, what do you think? And like just little hints like that. So I mean, I don't know. We don't know how long it's been in the works, right? There's rumors that it's been in the works since like round 3 or round 2 of last year that like they wanted Lewis at Ferrari, but I don't think we'll ever probably know. I don't think anybody that's going to ever get leaked or anything like that. But it is interesting to see it get completed so early because now I think it's just going to put Lewis on the back end of everything for Mercedes. But I don't know. I mean, kind of the same aspect with Carlos Sainz though. Like, what happens with him now? Like, is he going to give it 100,000% at Ferrari because he
100%.
already knows his seat's out?
I think he will because he has to prove himself to other teams, or he's
I don't
gonna want to. He's gonna want to prove himself, like
I think he
showing
probably
he
wants
he
to,
can
but
still do it.
I don't
And
think
I
he
mean,
needs to prove anything.
he's the only person that won a race that wasn't a Red Bull last year. No, right?
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it
So,
was Perez, Max, and Sainz.
yep. So, I
I
mean,
mean, crazy. The silly season coming up is insane. This past offseason, silly season, nothing really too crazy happened, right? But next year, whew, it's going to be super, super interesting.
I agree.
So there's also so we have like three different, I would say, stories that we should cover. Now, I don't believe that all three of us have a lot of the information regarding these stories, so we'll bring it up, but um, we'll give it like initial thoughts. But I don't think we can dive too like deep into it. But Andretti denied, so he's not getting a car for 2026, right? He was
Yeah, I
denied
think
for
that's what he wanted.
2026. So that is a bummer. I mean, I would love to see additional car on the grid. I think it would give an opportunity for F2 drivers to potentially come up to add drivers because there's been rumors that like some F2 drivers are unhappy that they're not getting seats in F1. So I think,
Felipe.
yeah, so I think that would be like another dynamic that would be good, but like I don't know the full backstory of why it was denied and stuff like that. I do know that F1 didn't think that Andretti and his team could bring value to F1, and it would be more value for Andretti's team from F1, if I said that correctly. Which kind of sucks. I mean, I think both would bring value to the sport regardless, but I mean, I assume that you guys don't know too much into the information.
Yeah, I don't know that much. I just wish Andretti was in F1. I think it'd be cool. And I think
I don't even
that
know who that motherfucker is.
I think if you have Haas in F1, that you should definitely let Andretti be in F1.
And I read something on Twitter, and it was like Haas said, or I'm gonna put this in like quotation marks. It was like, "Yeah, we expect to be last every race." And I'm like, "Okay, but Andretti can't be there. You know what I mean? Like, can't race and potentially get last. You know?"
I think one thing I saw was that other teams didn't want Andretti in because it would take money away from them or something like that. Like the smaller teams.
I don't know.
I don't
I think
know
it would
how
bring
that would work.
value to it because it would
Yeah.
bring more United States fans to F1, even though it's pretty popular in the United States. I think it would bring even more fans.
More than Haas for sure.
Yeah.
I think
So I don't know.
I don't know if this is possible, but I think Andretti should buy out Haas's F1 spot.
I think they well, don't they want it? Didn't they want Ford? Like, wasn't Andretti and Ford like combining efforts to put
I
the
think it
car
was
into F1?
GM
Oh, GM. Okay.
because I think GM's going to be
Yeah, isn't
a
it confirmed
motor.
GM's?
Yeah, I think in like 2028 or 2026 or something.
So I like honestly though, like I expect Andretti and his team and like a team from Andretti, whatever you want to say it, however you want to say it. Like I expect them to be a team here in the future.
Yeah,
Like, just
I think they will be.
20 like 27, 28.
We might be
I
like
feel
80
like
years old, but
yeah, but I still expect another team on the grid with like all the other drivers. I think within 4 years we'll probably see it.
yeah. 5, 6.
Well, 2028's in 4 years, and he got denied for 2026, so I would assume
Oh,
within
yeah.
like the next two, you know.
If they
But
deny 2028, that's kind of sus.
yeah, then it's like, are we ever going to get another team on the grid? You know, at that point. But okay, so the next story, I don't know how much we can honestly talk about this as much, but Horner investigation. I think it's more just insane that it's coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. We have, I would say, like actual like talk about it or anything like that. It's just crazy that it's happening right now. He could lose his job. They're asking him to resign. Do you guys think by the start of the season that he's going to be gone? I kind of feel that way.
I saw that they are pushing for it to be the investigation to be done by the start of the season.
Yeah, I saw that as well. And I think it's going to happen. Like, I think he's going to be gone by then. But
Yeah, poor Zug.
yeah, Zug's
But
losing
my
out on
thing
his
is-
guy.
No, my thing is, if they were gonna do it, they would have done it already.
Well, they have to like
have to do a
investigate.
full
They have to do an
investigation.
investigation.
And it's not Red
Well,
Bull
and so
Racing doing it;
far,
it's Red Bull doing it.
Yeah, which is
Which is kind of
High
sad that
bios.
Red Bull didn't like the Red Bull Racing didn't do anything.
But
Well, I can't say
Like-
they didn't do anything, but
yeah,
maybe
like
they
I don't
didn't.
know if we can dive too deep into that. That's just more craziness than anything, you know. Like I don't think we have the background to talk about that per se. But it's just interesting. It's gonna
he's
be
innocent.
it's just interesting to see that stuff that get leaked and then that story come out. It's just crazy news, honestly. It's just crazy news coming out of F1, right? So it should be interesting to see if he's there by the start of the season. If he's there by the start of the season, I expect him to be there the entire season. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I don't expect him not to be there. So, but do you guys want to jump into the predictions? I think
Yeah.
I think we could. Okay, so predictions. We have a bunch of different topics for this. Okay, how many? We got 8 different topics. We're gonna start it off with who is losing their seat in 2024, or I guess in 2025. Who's gonna lose their seat after this season? Logan Sargent, calling it. I think everybody. If you don't pick Logan, you're crazy.
I didn't pick Logan. I picked no one.
You picked no one.
I think that if somebody loses their seat, they would have to lose by like 50 seconds every weekend to the guy in 19th. Because,
Well, DeVries lost it.
yeah, but everyone's
And
contracts,
arguably, I think Sargent did a lot worse last year than.
but everybody's contracts are expiring at the end of the season. So I think
True.
everyone will just wait and try to make sure they have the right fit. Like, I think if Sargent doesn't do good this season, I think it will be announced that he's not going to have a seat for the next year. I think that will happen if Sargent doesn't do well. But if he does do well, I think he'll definitely keep a seat throughout the whole season.
Zug, who loses their seat?
Sargent.
Sargent. Yeah.
If it's
Mix
gonna be
doesn't know what
anyone,
he's talking about.
if it's gonna be anyone, it's gonna be him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I personally don't. Every single person else, like that didn't even make sense. Everybody else is a way better driver than Logan, and we're hating on an American, which sucks because like we want to see America like drivers in F1, but he's just
Stick to oval.
he's just not that good right now. Potentially, maybe he comes out with the
He
best
was
season
getting
of his life.
he was getting better at the end of the season 100% though.
And he potentially could, but even if you have a decent season, you can still lose your seat to an F2 driver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, those are that's who we think is going to lose their seat. At least me and the boy Zug. But the next one that we have on is 2 bold predictions. So my first bold prediction: Lewis Hamilton wins the championship. Right there. That's my first one.
That is very
Wins.
bold. That
is
is
just dreaming.
The next bold prediction that I have: Max gets 3rd in the championship.
behind who? George Russell?
Who gets 2nd? It's going to be my next team, baby, Charles Leclerc. He's going to get 2nd. Max gets 3rd.
Okay. That is two very bold
Those are bold
predictions.
predictions. Hey, those are hot takes. You know what I'm saying? Like hey, you said bold predictions. Those are my bold predictions.
All right. Mine aren't that ballsy. One's quite the opposite of Josh's. But my first one is both McLaren drivers will get at least 1 win.
I like that.
I think they are going to have a very good car. I don't think they're going to win a championship like Josh thinks Mercedes is going to do. But I definitely think
It's
they'll
called
get
bold
1 win.
predictions, man. You got to come up with craziness.
And then my next bold prediction that Josh won't like is Mercedes will finish outside the top 3 in the Constructors' Championship.
Get that out of here.
And they
Get that out of here.
they
Get
haven't
that
been
out of here.
outside of the top 3 since 2007, I think.
Get that out of here. And
But
they
I
ain't
think
getting
that's.
outside of the top three.
I'll even say it. I think. Wait, no, never mind. That's gonna be later. But yeah, those are my bold predictions.
I actually honestly like your first one. I think McLaren actually does pretty good this year, especially with Oscar coming out last year, like having a really solid season. Lando picking it up towards the end. I think that's a really good.
I
I don't
don't
even
think
know if those
that's
are
like
bold.
the
I think that's
drivers picking up. I think it's the car is fucking
yeah, but you still got to
picking it
be
up.
good enough to drive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta
And
beat
I
like,
know, but
Max. You have to beat Max Verstappen. Like,
but like, I don't know. I think those are. I don't even know if those are bold. I think those are just good predictions. But all right, Zug,
you want
what's
to hear
yours?
bold?
Yeah, let me.
Danny Rick gonna get a podium this year.
I could see
Okay,
that.
I
I
can
could
see
very
that.
much
I can see
see
that.
that.
Next
And I
one.
don't have a second one. I couldn't think. Well, mine is
Okay.
Red Bull based. Red Bull.
Red Bull wins
championship.
championship. Oh, that's so bold.
All right. My underachieve. Okay, so our next prediction is who underachieves in 2024, and I think it's actually going to be not. I don't know if you can say like too crazy here, but I think the most underachieving driver is going to be George Russell, my Mercedes teammate.
You hater.
No, it's not a hating thing.
You are a hater. I don't disagree with you, but you're a hater.
I just don't think that he's going to pull his weight this year. And I don't know, because I'm looking over the drivers right now, and I think Albon's going to have a solid year. I think Gasly and Ocon can have a solid year. Maybe Stroll underachieves, but if he underachieves, like we expect that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
expected.
So for Alonso, I think is going to have a solid year. I already mentioned that the Norris and Piastri with McLaren, they're going to win some races. So who can say they're going to underachieve? You know, I'm looking over like you can't expect too much from the Red Bull Cash App Visa car. I don't even know what you call it now.
Yo, they're using a lot of Red Bull shit. So you
Yeah.
watch it.
And like you also have Kick. Is that really underachieving? If they, you know what I mean? And then Haas. So like my thing, George, I think he's gonna be outside of like the top 6 in drivers championship. You know,
Yeah.
because you have the Red Bulls, you got Lewis, you got Ferraris, and you got McLarens. That's already 7 right there. So
I can see that.
yeah, so that's my underachieve.
All right, my underachieve. Actually, before mine, never mind. I won't say it. My underachieve is Alpine. They went through the ringer last year, and I don't think they're gonna do very good this year. I don't really know why. I haven't even seen anything from them in the off season. Like, besides their car launch, they've been pretty quiet, so that's not a very good sign. And
True.
I just don't think their drivers will get along very well to help each other that much.
They already
And-
hate each other. I mean, we've seen clips of that already.
Yep, like Gasly flipping off Ocon
Yeah.
in Suzuka. But yeah, I just don't think they're gonna do very good this year.
Okay, I can see that.
Suggy Bear.
Jake.
Yeah. Simmer down. Fucking hell. I don't want to. I feel like Yuki's gonna have an off year.
Just
would be
say
rough.
Lance Stroll, Zug, okay?
I don't speak his name in this house.
He's also Canadian.
say
that's hilarious.
hilarious.
say Lawrence Stroll's son.
In this right now. Nah, Stroll. Fuck Stroll.
Okay.
There you go.
You had us in the first half, not even gonna lie. Okay, so the next one that we have is overachieve. And I honestly think that overachieve is kind of a
That's hard.
different it's hard, you know, because
It's hard.
there's a lot
Max
of good
Verstappen.
drivers this year. But like I personally I don't even know if this is like gonna say overachieve, but I think Oscar Piastri is gonna have a great season in McLaren. You know, I think he's going to it's hard to say overachieve that because I think he can be top 5 in driver points.
I think that would be very much so overachieving for a second year driver.
Yeah, possibly.
As
but
a second
after
driver
watch-
on the
But
team.
after watching him last year, like he felt comfortable in that car towards the end. He was driving great. So I think I think Oscar Piastri is going to overachieve and surprise a couple people.
Yep, I like that. My overachieve, I'm not gonna lie, I just switched it. But I'm going with Daniel Ricciardo. I think he wants his Red Bull seat, and I think their car's gonna be pretty good this year. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna be the Visa Cash App Red Bull team.
See, I have a good feeling about that.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be very solid, like upper mid.
A lot of stuff. It's pretty much a Red Bull.
Yeah, so I think Danny Rick's gonna do good. Come back for some redemption. Probably not win a race, maybe a podium, but
podium.
I think he gets a few. I think he gets a couple top fives.
Daniel Ricciardo?
Yep.
I think he can get third. I like a podium. Like
I would be very happy with a podium.
I think he can get a podium for sure.
And he said he would do a shoey if he got a podium, so we want that.
There you go. Yeah, we do.
It's gonna be like Bahrain or some shit.
So who's your overachieve?
You can see my face right now.
We'll see it in the video.
I mean, he can't really overachieve.
Who are we talking about?
Max.
No way!
Get
you
Max
put
out of your
Max.
brain, bro. Get him out of here. Give us someone else.
Do not say one Red Bull driver, okay? Like, have a little more knowledge.
Red Bull 2.0, Daniel Ricciardo.
There you go.
Yeah,
you're agreeing with Nick.
So yeah, you're just agreeing with everything I said.
No, I already said earlier.
Okay, on to the next.
Yeah, he already said the Daniel was going to get a podium. So
there's Red Bull car.
Okay, so our next prediction is going to be biggest surprise. So that's kind of like, I don't want to say, because I already mentioned that Lewis is winning the championship, right? But I don't want to put that as my biggest surprise, because I already.
That will be a surprise.
It is going to be a surprise, but it's not like I don't want to put that, right? I want something even crazier than that. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say my biggest surprise this year is going to be Lance Stroll winning a race. Mark it down. Mark it down.
Leaving. No, I'm dumb. Good night. Are
Like,
you what? No.
Dude, I'm just coming out with the hot takes, man.
No. That's not even a hot take. Let's be somewhat realistic here.
Okay.
That's not going to happen.
Fernando
Okay,
couldn't
tell
even
me
win a
this.
race.
Tell me this. Fernando was up there at the beginning of the year because the Aston Martin's car was very good. Okay. I
And
expect
Lance
the
Stroll
Aston
was
Martin car
18th.
to be really good.
Why?
And Lance has won a race before.
The only reason they were is because Aston Martin had the aerodynamic Red Bull guy, and that was it. And then their car fell off.
But Lance has won a race before. And anything can happen if it's a rain race. You never freaking know. Okay? You never know what can happen.
Monaco, everyone else dies, and it's just Lance Stroll left.
You never know. You never know. My prediction can come true. You never know. You know?
Okay, we need to get off this. Zug might have a seizure. My biggest surprise is how bad Mercedes does this year.
Get out of here, bro.
I don't think they're going to do good. I do not think they're going to do good.
How do you, like, how?
Lewis is leaving.
Valid reason.
Okay.
Okay, that's what.
Before Lewis announced that he's going to Ferrari, he had sim day in the new F1 car.
I did see
a couple days later, he's going to Ferrari. So that's not very good. And the last couple of years, they have not been. I mean, they've been consistent, but they haven't been like, yeah, we're Mercedes. Like they've been
lost their swagger when they lost that championship.
Yeah. So I just don't think I like I said in my bold prediction, they're not going to be in the top 3. So I think that would be quite the surprise and a bold prediction.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel that. Not going to happen, but I feel you. Doug, biggest surprise?
Red Bull 2.0 top 3 in the constructors.
With Daniel and Yuki?
How do I disconnect Zug?
What?
That is
a surprise. It's not like I said Stroll's winning a race. What?
Basically is.
Okay.
No, it's
Hey,
gonna go
my
with
surprise
Red Bull.
is completely out there. So is
Eh.
yours.
Red Bull. Sorry.
I think all of our
Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren.
Wait,
There's
what?
no way
What did you just say,
McLaren-
Zug?
No way McLaren is getting beaten by Red Bull 2.0, bro.
Hey,
There's no
McLaren
way.
could be in shambles for the whole year, like they kind of were last year.
Okay, yeah, I need to.
No. Mixed. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I
McLaren
think
is going to be
if the-
the second best team this year. Fuck you, Zug.
if
I'm
like
just
the
saying, get their
if the
car
Red Bull
right, they're
2.0
good,
if the Red Bull 2.0 is basically a Red Bull car, you have a valid point. Like
but
you know what I mean?
to fix your fucking car.
So, yeah, I don't. That's a big surprise. A
That
big
should
surprise.
be a bold prediction, not a
Yeah.
big surprise.
What about?
Um,
well, let's play. That's the same thing.
That should be like an ultra bold prediction or something.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
surprising.
so far, I think our predictions are way out there. And if anybody watches this and you guys keep track of this later on this year, because we will. Yeah, this is insane. I don't know if any of these are happening.
If any of
But-
us get some of these right, it's going to be a great season.
Oh, true. Okay, so we have 3 more left. And we've already kind of been talking about a little bit of these. So the next one that we have is who is going to be a new winner in 2024? Lance has already won a race, so that can't be a new winner. So, with that being said, I think a new winner this year
I think
is
it's a
going to
no-brainer,
be.
right?
What was that?
I think it's a no-brainer, right?
Should be.
I think it's going to be Oscar Piastri.
Okay, I like that.
I mean, Orlando Norris.
No,
Norris
no,
hasn't
no,
won a
no,
race yet.
no, I'm cutting that out.
Lando dirty.
Okay, my new race winner is Lando Norris. I'm
right,
a
so I did
Lando
Oscar
stan.
My new
Piastri.
race winner is Lando Norris.
And Oscar Piastri, so you gotta do both. Just so it
Nah,
evens
fuck
out.
that. Fuck that guy.
No, he won the sprint race. Like I think
I don't. That
if
doesn't count.
if
Wait,
Oscar
So does that count if it is new
no,
winner?
no, that's not like a Grand Prix.
Okay.
If
Okay,
if
just make sure.
Oscar wins before Lando, I might cry a little bit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't want. If
If-
Oscar wins before Lando, that's just.
I
If
want
Oscar wins before Lando, Lando's getting the boot in 2 years.
no. He would go to a
Uh-huh.
better team too. But I hope Lando gets
True.
a couple race wins and then Oscar gets one. Like that would be a dream scenario for me.
Yeah, true. But hey, new winner, Oscar Piastri this year. That's my prediction.
Hey,
Um,
anything can happen if McLaren produces a fast car from the get-go.
Yeah, true. Very true. Okay, so the second one on the list, or the couple, we have two more left. Constructors champion. That is, I mean, you kind of already.
Can we skip
I've
that?
already kind of said it. No, because can you win a championship and not win the constructors championship?
If you have George Russell as your teammate, you can.
Because I already know my champion, but I don't think we're gonna have a constructors champion. You know what I mean? But I think if I have to go with a constructors champion, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but it's probably going to be Mercedes. Mercedes wins the constructors cup. Yep, because the only reason I say that is because my other prediction, my bold prediction. So, yep. On to the next mix. What's yours?
You know, I see a very much pattern for me here, so I'm just gonna ride with it. It's not what I have, but I'm gonna change it to what I want it to be, and it's gonna be McLaren.
That ain't happening. Okay, Zug.
Can you guys be realistic? Like,
Zug, you're only saying that
Shut
is
up.
because your team can actually win it. Like,
I've
Your
been
team has
saying,
no
like,
shot.
I know, right? It's
okay, mine's more
really-
realistic than Josh's. Okay, you gotta agree
yeah,
on
yeah,
that.
I know, but like, let's
You guys
be
would be
realistic here.
surprised.
Let's not go for our favorite teams here, okay?
Okay, if I had to really be realistic,
I want
it's
no,
Mercedes.
no, I want. Okay, I want one of you two. Doesn't have to be both of you. Just one of you to admit the realistic option will be what?
Mercedes.
Williams.
Red Bull 2.0.
Okay, I know
We know Red Bull is going to be up there.
we know
Okay,
Red Bull's
we
gonna
know.
be top 3, okay? But
Mercedes
if
first,
if
McLaren, and
Sergio
then Red
has
Bull.
a bad year, and okay,
Yeah.
Max wins most races, but I don't think he'll win as many as he did last year.
I
He's
don't
gonna
know
need
the
that
number,
help. He's gonna need that help this year, I
but I don't.
think.
Isn't if Sergio didn't race a single race, Red Bull still would have won.
Probably.
know.
But Mac's not going to win that many races this year, so
I think
he's going to need to do good.
I don't think Red Bull will dominate as much as they did last year. I don't think there's any
Especially
possible
not
way.
with the pods that they had for Mercedes last year. So.
Yeah, they're literally taking
You
Mercedes
see all the
design.
memes about it. It's like
Yeah, it's like they take a Mercedes, they're going to be better than Mercedes. Yeah,
but
stupid. They're not.
They know something. It's like
Watch it just
No,
be
no, no,
horrible.
no,
Watch
no.
it be worse than Mercedes. That'd be great.
I doubt that because like
I think it's going to be the same
realistically,
as
all they had to
Mercedes.
do was not touch their car.
Yeah, I don't know why they touched
Okay,
it. Literally.
But to
realistically,
me, it's like they found a faster car, and that's scary.
okay, but maybe Mercedes thought they found a faster car, and then once it got on track, it wasn't that good.
True.
We're about to find out.
Okay,
But
so you're a
Red Bull is
constructor's
Red
champ.
Bull.
You have Red
I don't
Bull.
even have to
Doug.
say it.
You don't
Yeah.
have to say it. We get you. Okay, next, the last one that we have on the list for our bold predictions. The last one that we have on our list for our predictions is Drivers' Champion.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
As I
leave it
said
now.
this in my bold prediction, Lewis wins the championship. That's who I have. Now, realistically speaking, is it going to happen? I don't know. Could it happen? Possibly. Will it happen? Most definitely. Realistically, probably not. But that's who I have. I already kind of figured that Mix is going to choose someone I already know. Mix, who do you have?
Surprisingly, I'm gonna take the safe option and say Max Verstappen.
Get the frick out
Okay,
of here, bro.
but like
What?
I think McLaren has a better shot at winning the constructors championship. Like if they just beat Perez, they go 2-3 behind Max every race, like they're winning the constructors championship. So
Yeah, but you gotta make predictions,
Like,
bold predictions.
I already
man.
did 2 of them. Actually, I did like 4 of them. So like
True.
I think I don't want it to happen. I want Lando to win the drivers championship, but
That would be
that's not
insane
gonna happen.
if that happens.
Actually, Matt predicted that. So if
That would be insane.
if Matt's right about that, I love him, and yeah,
Shout out to Matt.
I want Lando to win it. But
Zach,
I
you don't
think
even have to
Max.
talk. Get out of here.
Okay, that's the
Yeah, I'm not.
podcast.
Okay, we all know that Zug is a Red Bull lover, so he's gonna pick Max. So
I was a Red Bull lover since Weber, so I'm not a bandwagon.
but yeah, he picks Max Verstappen. Let's be real. Max is probably gonna win. Let's be real. However, it is interesting to see that they changed up their car design with the pods that Mercedes had last year that didn't work out. You guys, we watched.
There's still
Mercedes
a pod
is
there.
slow.
There's still a pod.
Yeah,
there.
but it's the exact same. It's literally
No,
the
it's
exact
not.
same.
Not even
So
close.
it
Did you see
looks the
the
exact
Mercedes-
same.
Did you see the Mercedes side pod?
From last
There
year,
wasn't one.
what Red Bull?
has a side pod. There's still
It
a
looks
side
the
pod
same.
there. It's just
But those are our predictions. I honestly speaking, I think we made some pretty good ones. Like I honestly feel like we have some of the predictions that are going to come true. Now, all of them might not come true, but some of them I think are actually.
If some of them come true, it's going to be very entertaining this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. Personally speaking. So, and with this new upcoming season, me and the boy Mix, aka Dylan, we are going to try to do some watch parties for some of the races that are in good time zones. Some of the races are at horrible time zones, and there's no way in hell that we are waking up for them. There's just not. So those aren't happening. But we are going to do some watch parties. We're going to be streaming the watch parties and stuff like that, which I think will be awesome. Good fun time. The racing is always fun. It's only a couple hours, so I think that's going to be great. And later this year, me, Zug, Mix, and our friend B, aka Dustin, is all going to F1 Texas. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be legendary. We're probably going to have a pod out there. Like we definitely need to make a pod out there, probably the day after the race or something, because all of us there would be insane to have at one moment, you know? So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for the watch parties. We'll have all the links and everything for our socials and streams and stuff like that in the description below. But we just want to say thank you guys so much for anybody that watches this. It means a lot that you guys are watching this, liking this. And in the comments below, we'll have like a section of like our bold predictions. Write what you guys think. Like, let me know what your craziest bold prediction is for the F1 2024 season. Like, just write it down, something crazy out of this world. Let us know what it is, because that would be good talking points for our next episode. We're going to be producing these weekly. That is the plan. It might be bi-weekly, maybe until the season starts, and then weekly, so we can do a recap and everything.
Bi-weekly would put us when the season starts.
Yeah, so there we go. So testing is coming up. We'll probably do a pod after watching the testing and stuff like that, so be on the lookout for that. But we're excited about this. I know Mix has really been excited to get this going. He loves F1. He loves talking about it. I know boy Zug over here just enjoys Red Bull winning everything. He's stupid. But I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be awesome. These videos are going to be doing great. But yeah, we'll have everything in the description below for you guys to check out. Thank you guys so much for the love on these videos and potentially in the future videos. Big shout out to Mix and Zug for doing the pod. You guys excited?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it, baby.
Ow.
But yeah, we'll be back next week with another pod. Be on the lookout for that. Much love, and we're out.